welcome to my kitchen and a new episode of What's for Dessert. Because I have bread that needs to be used and I have apples that need to be used, what am I supposed to do? We're gonna make apple brown Betty, of course. Isn't that what everybody does? Probably not. But maybe you don't even know what apple brown Betty is. Apple brown Betty is just a dessert that's made from leftover bread and apples and some brown sugar and some butter. That's all that's in this. We're also going to add a little bit of cinnamon, and we're going to have a nice warm apple dessert. I even remembered to buy some ice cream to go along with it. My husband's excited. He's standing behind the camera giving me the thumbs up. Because nothing goes better with a warm apple dessert than what, honey?
Vanilla ice cream.
Vanilla ice cream. So let's do it. Okay. I have my 9x13 pan. This is about 8 cups of bread. I didn't even use a knife on it. I just tore it up. This is a really easy dessert. And it uses things that you might, you know what? Sometimes we have enough breadcrumb in our freezer or in our pantry, and we have some bread that needs to get used up. This is an excellent option for using up old bread. You can use day-old bread. You can use fresh bread. You can use, I feel like you can call me Ray, or you can call me Jay. I am dating myself.
Don't call her Johnson.
Don't call me Johnson. That's right. You can use wheat bread or sourdough bread, whatever you like. I probably wouldn't use rye bread or anything like that, but you know, it's up to you. I have an equal amount of apples, and I've sliced 6 large Granny Smith apples that I also peeled and cored. We're just going to set those aside for a moment. I'm going to use 2 cups of brown sugar, and do not gasp when I tell you, 2 sticks of butter. Okay, this is going to serve 12 people, 12 servings, all right? And we're going to do a light sprinkling of cinnamon, so I'm going to say maybe a teaspoon for the whole pan. Rick is not a big fan of overly cinnamonized things. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a pat of this butter, and I'm just going to mash it into the bottom of the pan, and I'm just going to do this deal with it. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take about a half a cup of this brown sugar, and we're going to sprinkle it in the bottom of the pan. Okay. Then we go in with our bread, half of it. And this is going to cook down, so initially you're going to think, wow, this pan is really full. And yes, the pan is really full. And half of your apples. And just eyeball it. Apple Brown Betty is a child of the Depression, okay? It is right up there.
I keep getting your arm.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's right up there with mock apple pie and several other Depression-era type of recipes that were concocted out of a need to not waste anything. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take a stick of butter, so 8 tablespoons. I'm just going to break it up on the top here. And you don't have to be concise or precise. You can just toss it on there. It's all going to be good, I promise. Okay. Now, bless you, honey.
Thank you.
The rest of this brown sugar goes on top. Oh, let's sprinkle some more cinnamon. Not too much. Rest of our bread. And this, I promise, as it bakes, it's going to cook down and it's just going to fit in the pan. It's not going to overflow, but you're going to want to put it on a baking sheet just in case. Okay. You going to take care of that, honey?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now we're going to take and put the rest of our apples on top of that bread. And spread them out as evenly as possible, you know. If you have some that are bunched up, you want to separate them. Give it a press. Now we have this last cup of brown sugar. Sprinkle this all over the top. And make sure you get it really even, because you want this brown sugar to touch like every nook and cranny. And as it melts in here, it's all going to get bubbly and delicious anyway. So just don't put it all in the middle, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Put this rest of this butter on the top. I just have a little bit left. Okay, we're going to give that one last sprinkling of cinnamon. I didn't forget it. Oh, all right. There we go. I have my oven preheated at 350 degrees. I'm going to get me a baking sheet. And a piece of parchment. Oh, this cabinet. I need a dispenser for my parchment. All right. Into the oven for 45 minutes to 50 minutes. It's going to go take a nice warm nap. When you can smell it, check it. And then you'll determine whether or not you need to leave it in there longer. When it's brown, bubbly, and looks crispy, we're going to take it out. I'll bring you back when it's time to do that. Okay, our apple brown Betty is out of the oven. It baked for about an hour. And about halfway through, I realized I screwed up. I knew I was forgetting something, and I was in such a hurry to get dinner on the table that I totally skipped a step. Now, when you make this, I would like you to make sure to refer to the written recipe that you can find on my website, at which point you will understand. After I got this all finished, I should have drizzled the entire thing with a half a cup of water. Okay, just spoon the water over the top. It softens everything, and cover it with aluminum foil. Then you bake it for an hour. Take the foil off and bake it for 10 minutes without the foil on it. That was an easy thing for me to forget to do when I was in a hurry trying to get everybody fed for supper. So that just goes to show you I mess up just like everybody else. I'm not perfect, and I'm not a superwoman. I know, honey, it may come as a surprise to you, but you know. Nevertheless, this would have been a terrifically delicious dessert. But, you know, I would probably even add some raisins in here. My mom used to add raisins to this when I was a kid. But you can see that bread has kind of, the exposed parts have caramelized from the brown sugar. The apples have cooked down and they have softened. And this is going to be positively luscious with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. When it's cooled off a bit more, we'll come back and I'll serve you a little dish of this with some vanilla ice cream. Because I know that you'll enjoy it, even though I messed it up.
It still tastes good.
It'll taste good.